Hello and welcome to the channel. Today I'll be talking about two Beatles albums that on their initial release, although they charted quite well, weren't as critically well received as their previous work. Now I'm talking about Yellow Submarine and Let It Be. Now Yellow Submarine was released in January of 1969. It was their 10th studio album and was designed to accompany the animated film of the same name. It contained Yellow Submarine, Only a Northern Song, All Together Now, Hey Bulldog, It's All Too Much, and All You Need Is Love. Now, initially on purchasing this album, I had no idea that the album went from songs to the orchestrations for the film and the soundtrack by George Martin. So I was slightly disappointed by that. However, as the years went on, Yellow Submarine was re-released as the Yellow Submarine Songtrack, which I had no idea of. I just happened to stumble across this in a local record store somewhere and looked at the track listing and was pleasantly surprised, I have to say. Sorry, George, that the orchestration was no longer on there, but instead the 9 original songs that were on the film, apart from A Day in the Life. Now, on that album, and I've got to check my notes here, so please bear with me, apart from the songs already listed that I've mentioned, Eleanor Rigby, Love You Too, Think for Yourself, Baby You're a Rich Man, When I'm 64, and Nowhere Man were included on the original issue. Now, if I could have a dream Yellow Submarine songtrack, I would argue that I would like to see on there If I Needed Someone by George Harrison and Tomorrow Never Knows. Now, I think that would make a well-rounded track listing in all that would encompass that time period perfectly anyway. However, I will say, genuinely, the two gems I always find that stand out on the Yellow Submarine in any of its formats really are Hey Bulldog and George Harrison's wonderful and marvellous It's All Too Much. Wonderfully psychedelic, a fantastic song. And I've got to be honest, Hey Bulldog and It's All Too Much are 2 repeat listens that I will always go back to when I'm listening to this album. Okay, secondly, I'm going to touch upon Let It Be. Now, this was released in May of 1970. This was 1 month after the Beatles had officially broken up, of course, and John Lennon and George Harrison decided that they would employ the services of Phil Spector to produce it. Unfortunately, across the universe, the long and winding road does stand out amongst all of it, and, you know, Let It Be, they were orchestrated in some way or another, which I'm not a great fan of. This was another album that when I first bought it, I thought, this is not the Beatles that I love and know. But nonetheless, you know, there's some good tracks on there. I'll always, you know, enjoy Across the Universe, a wonderful Lennon song, a touch of melancholy in it, which he seems to do quite well. I've Got a Feeling, absolutely love that song. Yeah, Get Back, I like that. And yeah, I like Let It Be. I didn't appreciate having Maggie May and Dig It on there. I wasn't a great fan of those 2 snippets. Could have done without them. But anyway, again, a few years later, Paul McCartney was of the same mind. Didn't like the original album, didn't think it captured the essence of what it should have been about because of Phil Spector getting his hands on it. So he went and put out Let It Be Naked. Now, this album was released in November of 2003. The track listing is slightly different. It's Maggie May and Dig It have been completely removed out of this, which is a relief. And Paul had changed the track listing around a bit. So, you know, the original had the listings of Two of Us, Dig a Pony, Across the Universe, I Me Mine, Dig It, Let It Be, Maggie May, I've Got a Feeling, 1 After 909, The Long and Winding Road, For You Blue, and Get Back. But Paul has put the track listing as Get Back, Dig a Pony, Few Blue, The Long and Winding Road, Two of Us, I've Got a Feeling, One After 909, the wonderful Don't Let Me Down. Hooray, wonderful. I'm glad John's song's on there. I, Me, Mine, Across the Universe, and Let It Be. All without Phil Spector's orchestrations. Now, I've Got a Feeling, and sorry, excuse me. I've Got a Feeling, and Don't Let Me Down. Now, these consisted of 2 edits from the actual Rooftop sessions, and you know, it works really well. There's a real rawness to the songs on here, those 2 versions in particular, and One After 909 was basically remixed again from the studio, from the Rooftop sessions. So yeah, I do like this album quite a bit. You know, obviously Let It Be, as it was released in 1970, will still be the Beatles, you know, the album that's the official canon, shall we say, of the Beatles output. But you know, I do like Let It Be, Naked more. And yeah, the Yellow Submarine Songtrack, that to me is, you know, a lot better. That's all I can say, really. It hasn't got the orchestration on it. But anyhow, yeah, these albums, they're all still good. They've got some good Beatles tracks on there. And I'm just glad that, you know, the Yellow Submarine Songtrack was released, and also Let It Be Naked was released also. And I think had they been released in their formats like this originally, they might have fared better. Anyway, thanks for watching. Leave any comments below. You know, like and subscribe. And thanks for your support, and thanks for watching. And I'll see you next time. Bye.